Untold Blessing came up ultimately out of a question that was posed to me by the U.S. Catholic magazine many years ago. They said, could you write something on what it means to be holy, what it means to be a saint? So I came up with a short article on the 3 paths of holiness: finding the center, knowing you're a sinner, and realizing your life is not about you. Well, I liked that little article. It was very brief, but I liked it. And so from that grew a mission. And from that grew a retreat. And I began giving these talks around the country. So it reached a point where I was very comfortable with those topics. So finally we sat down and we did this filmed version of it. And I laid out, as clearly as I could, these 3 basic paths of the spiritual life. First of all, finding the place in you where you are being created by God, finding your own deepest center in God. From that perspective, you know you're a sinner, because once your life is ordered to the light, then you see all the smudges on the windshield. You see what's off in you. You don't begin the spiritual life by saying, I'm a sinner. You begin with the center. You begin with the fact that you're loved by God. But then you know that you're a sinner, and you seek forgiveness. Then the final path, realizing your life is not about you. That's the path of mission. Now I know what I'm supposed to do with my life. It's not about me and satisfying my ego needs, but now it's about letting God's grace flow through me. I lay them out in this kind of programmatic way, step 1, step 2, step 3, but you can enter it really at any point, and people are prompted by different experiences. It might be a time when you're just really knocked to the ground, when you strike bottom, as they say in the 12-step programs. It might be an acute sense of your own sin. It might be a peak experience. Something wonderful happens in your life and you realize that you're in the presence of God. It could be when you're swept up in a mission that takes you beyond yourself. So you might begin at any point. I lay them out kind of abstractly and programmatically as center, sinner, mission, but it can work different ways. And people start the spiritual life for different reasons at different places. Untold Blessing is correlated to a book I wrote called The Strangest Way. And in that book, I lay out the same 3 spiritual paths: finding the center, knowing you're a sinner, realizing your life is not about you. So it might be very effective to watch this video. And if you really want to get to the depth of it, then read the book in tandem with it. Maybe a year-long meditation. Taking a group of people through the spiritual life by looking at the book and watching the DVD, that might be very helpful.